Hey guys, I'm Jill Powell. Today I have my gorgeous neighbor here, Miss Sarah Bell, and we are doing this kind of soft, smoky, taupey, peachy, little bit of everything look. It's kind of an everyday look for a soft, smoky look, or you can step it up for nighttime, and I'm gonna give you tips on how to do that. But this is a great look for pretty much anyone, but definitely someone with blue eyes. So I use some color theory to do this blue eye, soft, smoky look. So stay tuned. Okay, so Sarah has these beautiful blue eyes, and there's so many things I can do. Remember, if you're talking color wheel, to make them stand out, you can do anything with that orangey, peachy undertone. You can also go along the same side, those analogous colors, so something with that kind of blue, gray, that type of undertone. So I am going to actually be a little daring, and I'm gonna do a little bit of both. So I wanna use those taupey colors, but I also wanna use a little bit of peach. So let's create some magic. I always start out with an eyeshadow base. So this guy is by NARS. It's the Tinted Smudge Proof eyeshadow base. What's nice is it just has like a neutral colored flesh tone, like a lighter skinned flesh tone. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm going to apply it from her lashes all the way up to her brow using a flat concealer brush. This one's just like a flat synthetic. And what this does is it will just create a base for the shadows to stick to. It helps with longevity. It helps the shadows last all day long. We don't have any creasing. It also helps the pigment to come out a lot stronger. So if you have shadows at home that the pigment just seems kind of weak, try an eyeshadow base underneath it. You'll see that it comes out a lot stronger. Okay, so one of the things I like to do right away is create some dimension on the crease. So with Sarah's eyes, you can go ahead and open, she has a little bit of lid space, but she does have a heavier kind of brow bone area. So I want to create some dimension in there. I'm going to be using a neutral tone. This guy is by Natasha Denona, and the color is called Titania, or okay, how would you say that? Titania?
I think it's Titania.
Titania?
I don't know. Titania.
I don't know. 108 cm. There you go.
It's very pretty.
And I'll be using a fluffier blending brush. This one's by Smith. It's the 232. And I'm just going to start creating some dimension in her crease so that I can kind of push back a little bit of her crease area with shadow and dimension. So go ahead and open. You see the difference, how that creates a little bit of dimension right there? So this is just a neutral tone, a few shades deeper than her skin tone. And I'm using a really light touch because I don't want to, this is a larger brush, so I don't want to have too much of a surface area. So I'm just kind of lightly going around her crease. And I like to use a matte shade for this, just so that you create dimension. When you have shimmer, it's going to reflect light, so you won't get as much of a definition of dimension. So I always use a matte shade in the crease just to kind of create that natural contour. So now I'm going to go in with a lid color. Sometimes I like to do the corners and the crease first, but I want to pop out her lid and just see how much dimension we can get there. So this one's kind of an old school palette. I do think they still sell it, or they still sell ones close to it. It's a Too Faced Natural Love palette, and I'm using the color Honeymoon. It's just like a nice peachy tone. It's going to have a little bit of color, but I think it will complement really well. And if I want to lighten the color, I can always put a lighter shimmery shade right on top, which will still allow that peachy tone to come through, but it will just be a little bit lighter for more of a pop. I'm using another Smith brush. This one is the 256, sorry. Scared you there. The 256, and I love this one because it has a nice point to it, so I can get in that inner corner really nicely. And I'm just kind of pressing and slightly moving the shadow along her lid. I don't like to do too much of a back and forth. I like to really press it. This will help with fallout. So if you ever get those flakes of eyeshadow underneath your eye, it may be the way that you're applying the shadow, or also when I pick up the shadow, I also give a little tap, so any excess can just tap off. So now I'm gonna be using kind of more taupier shades right in here. This one is a NARS palette. It's the Erdem palette. I think this was limited edition, but any kind of taupey shade like this, there's quite a few out there. And I'm going to start this on the outer corner of the lid and kind of blend inward so that that peach and this kind of taupey brown match and blend. And then I'm just going to kind of go in her like lower crease. I already have that dimension from the matte tone that we used. This is just giving a little bit more color. So kind of smoking out the outside a little bit. This is a MAC 217 brush. So it's a nice kind of small blending brush that you can really apply and blend at the same time. So I really love this for this area of the eye. And I'm bringing it in a little bit more on the inner corners as well. Not the inner corners, I would say the inner crease actually. Blending as I go, it's nice to do kind of that back and forth motion. And again, a little bit of circular motions just to create that diffusion of color. I really want to create even more of a pop. This is really pretty, but I want to create more of a pop. So I'm going to kind of go with my deeper shades here and something that's going to complement the colors that I've used. So I think I'm going to go up here in the top corner. This one's called Fingers Crossed. It's a matte with a little bit of glitter in it, so I'm just going to kind of tap off the glitter because I really want the matte shade. It looks more like a really kind of deep espresso plummy brown. And I'm going to start on the outer corners, and I do want to kind of define her outer crease just a little bit so that when she opens her eye, you can really see it there. I'm going to take that 217 brush that I was just using and blend those colors together so that we still have that gradation of color. This will just kind of smoke it out just a little bit. I'm going to add a second layer. Really defining the outer corners of her eye. Okay, and like I said, I might want to add a little bit more of a pop. So I'm going to take this color Satin Sheets, which is like a pink with like a gold shimmer. And I'm just going to pop a little bit along her lash line on the inner corner to brighten just a little bit more because we did that peach and those taupey kind of smoky colors. There you go. I like that better. Last but not least, because I did a lot of like dark kind of smoky colors, I want to balance that peach and that dark smokiness. So I'm going to use this color called Honey Butter. And I love this one to just really warm up an eye. So I'm going to use this on the outer portion of her crease so that the smoky kind of taupey cool colors blend into this nice warm honey butter color. And it will create a beautiful transition of color and make it a little bit softer, blending into her brow highlight color. Okay, I know I said that was last but not least, but this is really last but not least. I know, I lied, I'm sorry, it's a total lie. All right, so I think I'm gonna mix because this Heaven color looks amazing, except it also looks very white. And the Spotlight color looks great, but it looks very yellow. So, who says I can't do a little bit of both? If you know me, you know I love a mix. So I'm going to start in her arch and apply the color because that's where I want the strongest brightness of her brow highlight color. And then just blending. See, now it's perfect. Perfect Heaven Spotlight. Spotlight Heaven, however you want to say. I made my own color. So I'm using just like a flat, kind of flat, fluffy eyeshadow brush, starting in that arch of her brow, softly blending in, softly blending out. We did mascara off camera. Sarah has gorgeous lashes. I used the Urban Decay Perversion mascara. It's a nice full volumizing mascara. So 2 coats on the top, a really soft coat on the bottom. And I'm loving how this looks so far. So this could be like a step up for a daytime. This could be a work look. This is something you could wear every day. For nighttime, you can add some eyeliner. You can really bump it up to like a smokier look. You can pop on some more lashes if you even want more dramatic of a look, but you have great lashes. So I'm loving what's going on right now. I do want to add a little bit of an inner corner highlight just for some fun. We're going to try Fairy Tale. It's a little crumbly, but we're going to try. So
Open
go ahead
or
and
closed?
look up. Yep. And I'm just going to go right on this inner corner. It's definitely sparkly.
I like it.
Just gives a little pizzazz in there. I can also take some of the shadows I did on the top and do them underneath. I'm going to take a little bit of this taupey shade that we used. It has a shimmer to it. Go ahead and look up for me. I'm going to go right underneath her lash line. This is just like a small smudge brush. So this is just going to offer a tiny bit of a shadow without being too strong because the shimmer is going to reflect light. So it's just going to kind of create a little bit of a shadow underneath. Chin this way. There you go. So we're going to do a little bit of top liner. This one is one of my favorites by Inglot. It stays really well, just to warn you.
Good.
And I'm using a bent eyeliner brush. This one's by Sigma. It's the B12.
I totally just made a face. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah. So see?
Whoa.
It bends. The reason why I like it is because when you go in, you can really get that inner corner. So I'm just going to lift up just slightly. It helps you to kind of go over your lashes. And since you have beautiful lashes, it just really gets it right in there. Look at the difference eyeliner makes.
Like, what? Yeah.
Perfect. Now I'm going to have, just to perfect these inner corners, I'm going to have you look down and out to the side. Same thing on this side. Out this way. There you go. I got to fix one part. We can do this off camera because I'm picky. Just look at me.
I'm like, okay, check that trick out. You just made an eraser with your brush.
Sure did. Little guy too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
I guess you can do that on camera, huh?
I guess I won't reach for the Q-tips anymore and lick them.
Yeah, so, okay, so I was going to do that off camera because I don't like to show my mistakes, but I did make a little mistake. We all do.
Maybe I moved.
No, I definitely.
Blame the model.
No, I definitely. So I actually used here, I'll show you. So I used my Neutrogena makeup wipes, which I absolutely love. Take a makeup wipe and a tiny little angled, this is the Winged Liner Sigma brush, E06. I get some makeup remover on the brush. I also will use, if it's really waterproof, the Almay makeup remover, waterproof makeup remover pads, and you get a little solution on there. And now I have a makeup eraser. So the inner corner of the eyeliner I did was a little thick. So I basically took this brush and I just cleaned up my line. And then you wipe it off on here and you can do it again. I use that a lot for edge of lip lines or anything that I need to clean up or erase. Little handy trick. Okay, so just to recap on her eye look, we started with an eyeshadow primer. I used the NARS Smudge Proof Base. It's great because it has a little bit of like a lighter skin tone color to it, so it can neutralize any colors on the lid. Also helps the shadows to wear longer and kind of not crease and stay all day, the pigment to come out stronger. So always using that. Then I went ahead and kind of carved out her crease. So she has a little bit heavier of a brow bone, so I wanted to push that back with a little bit of dimension. So using that Natasha Denona color just to kind of create that dimension in the crease. And then sometimes I keep going with the crease, but today I wanted to pop that lid color. So we used that peachy tone from the Natural Love palette by Too Faced all over the lid. And then I went in with the NARS Airdem palette, that kind of taupier purpley brown on the outer portion of the lid and in the lower crease, just to create a little bit of a transition of color from the lid to the crease. That shimmer kind of is really forgiving because it reflects light, so it just creates that beautiful gradation of color. Then I went in with a deeper matte, and remember I had that little bit of glitter from the Too Faced palette just on the outer corners to kind of create a smokier dimension, and I brought a little bit up into the crease, blending it out with that 217 brush. And I wanted the lid to pop a little bit more, so I went in with satin sheets, that kind of pinkier gold on the lid, just on the inner corners of the lid, just to really make that stand out against the crease color. A little bit of an inner corner brow highlight. We then brought the color from the crease, the lower crease, that kind of taupier brown like we were talking about, on the lower lash line, just to kind of create a little bit of dimension, but nothing too strong. And I finished off with Inglot gel liner and of course mascara, the Urban Decay Perversion. And then we finished off lips off camera, so it's that beautiful kind of plummy pink color, a little bit of a gloss on top just for a little bit of shine. And now she is ready for the day. She can wear this as an everyday look. She can wear this to go out. You're going out tonight, huh?
Yep.
She's gonna look good. So, and if you want to step this up, remember you can just add more liner. You can add a little bit darker colors in the outer crease. But this is just a beautiful look. Oh, you know what? I did forget one step. Remember we warmed up the outer corner of her crease in transition with that honey butter, that kind of warmer tone. So that creates that nice transition into her skin tone. So hope you guys learned something. This is a great look for blue eyes, and honestly, even if you don't have blue eyes, it's kind of like a soft smoky. So I hope you enjoyed this look. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
This was so fun.
Yes, it was.
And now she looks gorgeous, and she is gonna hit the town tonight and go to dinner with some friends. And we had fun.
Thank you.
I love this, yeah. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks again for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below what you want to see next. All of the products used in my video are also linked below. And if you want to see more, follow me anywhere at Jill Powell Glam. Thanks again.